Hey, Patrick.
Hey, Michael J.
So, M19, Core Set 19, up, rolling, and today we have a special preview that was gifted to us from our folks in Renton, Washington.
The good people at Wizards of the Coast, of all people, to come up with a Magic spoiler, a Magic preview. Who would have thought? And this one is a doozy. Liliana's Contract. This is Enchantment, 3 black from the upcoming Core Magic set 2019 M19. So it's Enchantment for 3 BB. When it enters the battlefield, you draw 4 cards and lose 4 life. So right off the bat, you get yourself, you necro pretty hard right out the gate. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 4 or more demons with different names, you win the game.
This card it's got it going on. I mean, I'm not sure if this is just dangerous or genius or great or not going to be good enough, but it is certainly thought-provoking.
Yeah, and this is just, make sure that we're starting from the same spot. This is it's costed in a way where it's like you don't even need the demon thing, and I would guess that a lot of people won't even have the demon thing going on because they just want to draw 4 for 4.
Yeah, so,
draw 4 for 4 life,
Yeah, so, on a cost basis, so this is an enchantment. So enchantments you can only play, sorcery speed on your own turn. But it's costed a lot like Tidings, right? So Tidings was 3 UU, draw 4 cards at sorcery speed. Heavily played in Standard when it was legal, right? In a variety of decks. So it was played in Control decks, it was played in 4 decks, right? So this has that starting off. It's an enchantment instead of a sorcery, right? But it's got the 4 life, which stinks by comparison. But, there's cards right now that are 4 mana, take 2, draw 2, that people are playing successfully in Standard. This is only 1 more mana, and it's like you got 2 copies of that card to draw 4 for 4 life. I think that just like you said, there's something there. There's some potential there.
Oh, yeah. And it's not like black just has an abundance of efficient card draw. I mean, how often have we seen, for instance, black-white Planeswalker decks that just so desperately want to draw some extra cards? I mean, this is a heck of a way to draw some extra cards. And even if you're – we might as well start with the demon thing and then loop back to some of the other synergies, because this one has a lot more than meets the eye to it.
Yeah, so, let's start with Standard in terms of the demons, right? So not even talking about demons that might be coming up in the new set, because, there could be tons of demons that are awesome that haven't been spoiled yet, right? But, there are demons that people already just play that are going to be Standard legal when Liliana's Contract becomes legal. For example, Amit Eternal. Amit Eternal has already been top 8 of a Pro Tour, right?
Right.
It's a 5/5 for 3 that has some ups, has some downs, but that's a card that you could just super plausibly play, and it could be a demon that's in your deck to kind of get action on the second half of Liliana's Contract, and then separately, I think Demon Lord Belzenok, which is he's kind of the big bad of Dominaria. That guy, he's got some real Primeval Titan to him, and that I feel like that guy and Amit Eternal and maybe a couple more demons in Standard could give you some incentives to that sentence.
Oh, definitely. So Archfiend of Ifnir is a demon. The fact that you can get Archfiend of Ifnir, and if you already have that demon, or if you're flooded, being able, not flooded, sorry, short on mana, you can cycle it away. It makes it so there's a little bit lower of an opportunity cost, and I just think that the opportunity cost is going to be one of the real bottlenecks here. Right. Anyway. Yeah, there's so many already, and we talked about last week, the Demon of Catastrophes, that 6/6 flying trample. So it's clear that there's at least some amount of demon presence in M19, and depending on how many 2 and 3 and 4 cost demons we can actually see, or ways to potentially put them to use, I think this is going to be part of the equation, though. I think that having 4, but there's also the possibility of doing it a little bit differently.
But hold on, Demon Catastrophes for a second. First of all, as we said last week, I think that card might be really awesome. 6/6 for 4 with 2 major kind of evasive offensive capabilities, and then certainly a drawback. But there are a couple more standard legal things, like right of Belzenlock, right? That
definitely
the right itself not only gives you a demon body, but could potentially give you fodder for Demon of Catastrophes, right? So. And then just riffing on Archfiend of Ifnir, which again is a card that people play, right? Like, it's not super popular, but it's certainly a card people play. That's a linear card, but so is Herald of Anguish, right? So Herald of Anguish is, I kind of have a hard time believing Herald of Anguish and Archfiend of Ifnir would see play in the same deck, but if they did, I think that Liliana's Contract might be a reason to play them in the same deck. But they're both cards that are demons that people play, right?
Right. Here's the big one that I think is going to be like, to me, this alone already just like speaks to a whole new archetype. Arcane Adaptation. This is that Ixalan enchantment that's 2 and a blue. As it enters the battlefield, you choose a creature type, and then creatures you control are the chosen type in addition to their other types. So, like, when you Arcane Adaption and you name Demon, you just need any 4 creatures with different names. That's, like, so intense. It even counts tokens.
Oh, wow. So any kind of token producer, or, like, if you had a Planeswalker that was spitting out tokens...
they have to be different names. All 4 need to be different names. So as long as you just have any 4 creatures, whether they're tokens or not, any 4 creatures with different names, you're there. And that gets set up pretty quick. I mean, when you've got this draw 4 to help pull together your combo, and they're both enchantments. So if you have some kind of a card to search up enchantments or take advantage of that, that's part of the equation. And then as long as you just have any 4 creatures, which can just be creatures you just want to play, like maybe you're just like, I got a Baral or a Gonti or, any of the various cantrip ones, like maybe I got Whirler Virtuoso counts as 2 because you got the Thopter. Like there's a few different ways you could do it. But that just, to me, seems like, it sounds funny on the surface, but I actually think there might be something there, because that's a pretty fast and resilient kill if you just have enough cantrip or hexproof creatures.
Well, actually, it does sound a little bit odd, but it's not that crazy. First of all, the fact that Liliana's Contract is an enchantment is so meaningful because of that, it doesn't matter what order you play the cards, right? You can either have Liliana's Contract as the draw engine that gets you to the fuel to win the game, or and it's sitting there waiting for the demons, or you can just play it afterwards, right? Like, I've got some guys, I've got some different names, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, here's my contract, and then maybe it draws you the cards that you need to protect yourself, right? Especially if you're playing blue, it might draw you into the negate or the disallow or whatever that you need to protect the contract for a whopping 1 turn. I don't know, that seems pretty cool to me.
Here's another demon for you. Metallic Mimic. Huh? That's not bad, right?
Yeah, I can get behind that. Do you think there's any hope at all for this card to be played, serious successfully in wider formats, right? Like a Modern or Legacy?
Possibly. You see, there's another way to abuse this besides just setting up the fast kill, even though I think the fast kill is very attractive. Because, so first of all, if you go to Modern, you've got a wider selection by far of demons to choose from, including such demons as, Chameleon Colossus.
I played against a Chameleon Colossus last year, but it was in an Elves deck.
And it is important to note, by the way, though, Mutavault will not actually get you there. It has to already be a demon at the start of the upkeep for the trigger to go on the stack. So you're going to actually need to have 4 demons. You can't fake it with the Mutavault.
So, but there are, these guys aren't played so often in Modern, but a bunch of demons that are Modern legal were standard heroes in their day, right? You're talking about Rakshasa Death Dealer, Butcher of the Horde, Tombstalker, the Black Tarmogoyf, right? Tombstalker.
Definitely.
Sire of Insanity sees play. The original Ob Nixilis the Fallen. You remember when Ob Nixilis was the beatdown 5-drop for a while. But like Mind Rack Demon, Herald, Gristlebrand, one of the most powerful creatures ever printed. Is a demon, but there's a ton. Desecration Demon, Abyssal Persecutor. Just on the subject of forecasting cost 6/6s, both of those guys were contributors to major deck archetypes and standards, various during their tenures. And then there's other guys that just never got played that might see play if you put them in the right context. Master of the Feast, for example, right? Didn't you ever think of Master of the Feast, like this guy? There might be something there, but he just never hit the big time.
Maybe this is the spot. I do think, though, that the key is going to be finding cheaper ones. I think Tombstalker is really speaking to the right way with how cheap it is. What do you think of Treacherous Pit Dweller? That one's just from Adversary's. That one's just BB for a 4/3 Undying. And when it enters the battlefield from a graveyard, target opponent gains control of it. So you have to kill it. Like, you give it to your opponent, but then when you kill it, you get it back. And when you get it back, it's a 5/4. You're not a buyer, huh?
No.
It's so cheap.
Well,
what about Yakora the Prisoner?
That guy's in one of your songs. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's what I got on Yakora the Prisoner. He was, I believe, Kai played him at a Pro Tour, actually.
Dude, yeah, back in the Heezy glory days.
Yeah, back in Philadelphia. I want to say Kai did that.
What about Runescar Demon, though, man? That guy, like, he's the one from way back in the 2012 core set. He's 7 mana for a 6/6 flyer that when he enters the battlefield, you search your library for a card, put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. So, like, I don't know that you super want to just cast 7-cost demons. But if you have some way to mana cheat them or get them on the discount or whatever, it is kind of nice that it's both a demon and it goes and gets your kill card.
Yeah, I could believe it.
Which is something.
So here's one that, I was just going through Gatherer about, like, what are potentially playable demons in larger formats. And I recalled that I actually played this one in a Pro Tour and did quite well. It was Woebringer Demon. And for the life of me, I can't remember why I would play this card. So it's a 5 casting cost 4/4 flyer that kind of messes with both players, right? So everybody has to sacrifice a creature on their own turn. And if you can't, sacrifice the Woebringer Demon. So, like, it's I don't know. But we did well with it. So it made sense at the time. But I don't think that guy's cracking Modern.
No, I think we could do better. What about Rakshasa Death Dealer?
Heck
like,
yeah.
Just 2 mana, man. And then what about Soul Flare? Also just 2 mana.
So Rakshasa Death Dealer, how much money had that guy earned on the Grand Prix circuit already? He is ready. That is a demon, I think, who has still got his boots polished and ready to. He's like, just as soon as you need me, coach, I'm there. That guy's ready.
Yeah.
Soul Flare, the Zvi Moshwitz Pantheon special creature. I think
it's just a 2-cost. It's another 2-cost demon with a different name,
with a potentially fabulous upside. Right? Maybe you could play like a bunch of powerful demons, and they were just like all pretty good. Like maybe B plus level creatures for Modern, but then you just have this sweet payoff at the top end. That might be good enough.
Well, there's 2 payoffs, man. If you want the other demon payoff, what about Reaper from the Abyss? 3 black, 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 6/6 flying morbid. At the beginning of each end step, if a creature died this turn, destroy target non-demon creature. So this way you don't accidentally kill your own guys. No, probably not worth it.
That's a hefty price tag. But, if we're in the market for 5s that draw 4, we're probably going to be able to hit 6 land.
Dude, what about Mind Rack Demon? Because
Solid.
you're going to want... Yeah, Mind Rack Demon also flipping all those cards is going to help so much for fueling our Tombstalkers, our Soul Flayers, and even the other one from Khans, Necropolis Fiend, if we want it. It's a little high up, but Yeah,
I could see Mind Rack Demon, and for exactly the reasons you're saying, because I think Tombstalker and Soul Flayer would be buddies with him. My only concern is our curve looks horrible, right?
Well, that's why we want all these 2s. That's why we want...
But the 2s aren't 2s on turn 2. The 2s are 2s on turn 6.
So you're saying we need, Thought Scour or something.
I'm in for... Here's the problem, Patrick. At the point that we're Thought Scouring, I'm wondering why we're demons instead of, some other kind of creatures. Maybe some Delvers.
Well, I think we got to really take advantage of this draw 4. What about Master of the Feast? We can just keep up. You were mentioning him earlier, but what if that's the key?
So here's the thing about Liliana's contract, which is semi-serious. After the damage you personally did to the Modern format, do you remember when you had the blue-red Modern Treasure Cruise deck that you rocked the World Championships with?
Paul Rizzo, not yet.
You personally took away all the toys, right? So you did that.
Nah, I don't know about that.
Nobody's allowed to draw cards in Modern anymore. If we were, they're like, first they took away Treasure Cruise, then they took away Dig Through Time. Now, Liliana's contract might be it, right? if we're the only guys with Liliana's contract, we're drawing cards, and that's solid. Add that together with the Demon payoff, there might be something there in this Treasure Cruise world.
Possibly. There is one more little fun twist, though. Dude, if you blink this thing or bounce it, you can take advantage of it being a permanent instead of a sorcery or instant. So, for instance, if you've got any kind of a bounce card, being able to convert your bounce card into a draw 4 is a very powerful option.
Oh, wow. I mean, Liliana's contract and blink of an eye, best friends.
Right. That's pretty good, right?
Draw 9.
So, I think that the combo kill with the demons is part of the equation, but it'll be interesting to see how many ways there really are. Because even if you just destroy it, there's going to be times where you could just destroy it and get it back with some sort of enchantment recursion. So, and we don't have it, Oblivion Ring obviously had the ability to exile your own stuff in a way that the new banishing type cards don't. But you never know what all ones they're going to print. And in Modern, maybe there's some way to just on the cheap pick up that as an added option.
Sure.
So I'm definitely excited for this card. There seems like so many ways that you could take advantage of this. Some of which are super straightforward, some of which are very fancy.
I'm for sure excited to try it in Standard anyway. I think there's going to be enough playable combination of kind of demons and tokens and removal that maybe I just want to draw 4 so that I can draw into my removal and just beat them with a demon, right? Just beat them with the 6/6. That's probably okay. Also, it's actually pretty cool. I think maybe half your games you're just winning on the merits, and the other half you've got some sort of fancy pants going on.
I would not be surprised if you're winning with the combo less than half the time.
But it's there.
It depends. It depends. If you're doing the arcane adaptation, it's more likely that you're trying to combo off all the time. But I think a lot of the time these demons will be able to get there on their own when you're drawing all these extra cards. But some percentage of the time, it's going to actually swing it for you. Your opponent's got a planeswalker that's ultimated, and you're looking down the barrel of a pretty harsh emblem or something. Being able to win this way and circumvent the usual, you can win in a hurry this way.
Yeah, could be spectacular. Okay, that was Liliana's contract. Thanks again to the good folks at WotC We will be back tomorrow with our regularly scheduled episode, and it's going to have tons more M19.
See you guys then.